Folks, we're getting ready to see this winter storm move by, but the impacts and those lasting effects, they're going to be with us probably for a couple of days. If you've looked outside, you've been outside a little bit, you know what I'm talking about. Obviously, we have some accumulation, but especially it's the road conditions. And throughout the week, we really had tried to emphasize that this is mainly a road problem storm. We aren't talking about power outages, anything along those lines, not even big snow. It's mostly a road problem. And with how dry and how cold we've been for, gosh, the better part of the last 2 weeks, it's no wonder that everything stuck to those roadways. And we really are probably going to have tough conditions for several days. Mother Nature is not going to help us all that much to melt that stuff and get it out of the way. We have our News 2 Weather Impact Alert Day continuing as we go into Saturday morning. Reason being, well, we still have that wintry mix happening right now, but it's really going to be those road conditions. Certainly would encourage you to kind of avoid travel as you work your way into the early morning hours. The hardest part about this is going to be moving your way out of your neighborhood. Those side streets are likely to stay very difficult over the course of the next couple of days, really. It won't just be, of course, for Saturday, probably all the way even through Monday into early next week. Let's take a look at the storm, how it worked across the Triad. We saw snow first, then a period of sleet, even a little bit of freezing rain at times. And then on the back edge, this is kind of transitioned back to some more snow showers. Now, we do not have a full picture of snow reports just yet for this system. We don't have that yet, but we're getting an idea of who saw what, and some of those reports are filtering in from about the area. Now, the biggest numbers, not surprisingly, were in our northern counties, up near the Virginia border, places like Mount Airy and Toast up in Surry County. We got Maydan up there at 4 inches as well. The biggest numbers were basically between about 4 to 6 inches of snow. And I know you might be hearing that and saying, boy, we are jealous, because a lot of us had the problems with the mixing. We're talking about mixing with sleet, the ice pellets, or maybe some freezing rain, or maybe both of those things. Thomasville, Winston-Salem, Greensboro, Randleman, all of these areas did have some of that mixing going on. And in that case, there was only about 1 to 2 inches of snowfall, which is not very much overall, not very much to be able to play in, but it is enough, well, still to bust some records around here. This is a long streak that we've had going for a while, since way back in January of 22. We've had 1,077 days without any snowfall, over an inch of snow. So today was the first time we've been able to break 1 inch on a calendar day. It sounds pathetic, I understand, but it is something of an achievement in the lack of snowfall that we've had the last 3 years. Temperatures have been cold throughout this whole system, still in the 20s right now, and that's kind of where they're going to hang out through tonight. Once we clear out, we could even get a little bit colder toward early tomorrow morning, but it's well below freezing, which means anything that falls from the sky, whether it be snowflakes, hailstones, or sleet pellets, I should say, or some of that rain, which freezes on contact, we call it freezing rain. All of those things are sticking. And taking a live view of Winston-Salem, boy, I'm going to step out of the way so you can see this. Doesn't look fun to be on those roads, does it? This is why you want to avoid it. We see a couple of cars, if you can make them out, on Salem Parkway. They're just on the other side of the Wells Fargo building. It is tough, to say the least. And actually, that limited visibility suggests that they're still having some decent snowfall over there as well. Greensboro, downtown, a little bit of snowfall on top of the buildings. Visibility is decent, which means the snow is probably not all that heavy. In High Point, looks like they got some sweeps going on Main Street. They've plowed it up decently. It looks fairly clear at the moment. Those crews, we've talked to them ahead of the storm, during it, they're going to be getting to work in a big way once it stops falling from the sky, which we're getting pretty close to now at 2 o'clock in the morning. In Burlington, still dealing with some sleet and freezing rain over there. But if we look at the radar, you'll notice, well, a lot of this is moving away. We have drier air, drier skies building in to western North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia as well. The back edge of this is starting to move through the Triad, from Roanoke to Greensboro, all the way down to Charlotte. We are in much better shape now, and this is going to push away. So we're almost there. Probably by 3 o'clock, all of this is out of our area. But most of what's falling now is actually coming in the form of snow, not freezing rain anymore. So this had been our freezing rain forecast. It seems like we've avoided most of that and probably aren't going to have any big icing issues as we go through the rest of this storm. Again, it's almost over with. Thank goodness we probably won't have to deal with any big problems. The snowfall map is this, and this is kind of, a moot point by now because most all of it has already fallen. But in general, our 3 to 5 inch range off to the north did fairly well with this system. These are the areas that were the big winners, from Mount Airy to Stokes County, Surrey County, Rockingham County, up to Danville as well. Anywhere from 3, 4, 5 inches did fall in those zones. Across most of the Triad, generally 2 to 4 was a bit too high. 1 to 2 is a bit more in line with what really happened along the I-40 corridor. And then as you head farther off to the south, well, there really just wasn't all that much snow, mostly less than an inch from Asheboro south, which is a story we've heard before, right? This is something of a theme in recent snowstorms. It's been really difficult to get a lot of accumulation in our southern Piedmont counties. You can say the same thing about Charlotte or even Raleigh for that matter. Everything clearing out, and we're not just talking about the precipitation stopping, the snowfall, the sleet, all those things stopping. We know that, but there's even going to be clearing when it comes to cloud cover. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, there actually is going to be a lot of sunshine. Maybe not right away, maybe it waits until 9 or 10 o'clock, but we are going to see some sunshine developing as we go throughout the day on Saturday. And that's going to help, hopefully, with this, some of the mess across the area. Boy, we still have, this is, remember, 2 a.m. traffic report. Not something we consider often here living in our part of North Carolina. There's just not all that much of a problem in these zones, but we do have some slow conditions and sluggishness because of all of the snow on the area roadways. Most all of the urban loop right now is slow. I-40 slow as well. You can see those traffic flows really indicating that there's snow on most of the area roadways. This is Battleground Avenue over here. Then you have I-40 going over by Whitsett, pretty slow too. Forsyth County has been a mess all of the day from Friday into the overnight hours as well. 52 still looks to be messed up a little bit. Salem Parkway, 421 if you like to call it that, from Kernersville, also slowing down. And that's just the theme that we're going to continue to see, is that we're really going to have those slick roadways. We'll have them to start Saturday. We'll probably have them again to start Sunday as well. And most days this weekend are just going to be cold. Low 20s in the mornings, upper 30s for the afternoons. Yes, there's sunshine and that should help it out. But overall, we're just going to be really chilly for a little while longer. Low pressure will pull away from us. We'll have those sunny afternoons, temperatures in the 30s and 40s, but the overnight lows being so cold in the upper teens and low 20s mean that this is going to refreeze a lot of our sleet and snow on the ground and on the roads repeatedly over the next couple of days, and that's something we'll have to be dealing with as we go into early next week. We're really well below normal. Consider our average low is 30. We're going to be in the teens and 20s most of the time, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, into next week. And that's just going to be a theme of where we've been and where we're going. This is just kind of a winter that doesn't want to quit here in January, which obviously we expect winter weather in January. It's our coldest month of the year. It's our snowiest month of the year historically, too. So all of those things make some sense, but you have to remember, usually we tend to get some thaws and we get some breaks where you might have some high temperatures in the 50s or even the 60s every now and again. We haven't really had that so far in this January, and maybe we won't. There's only a couple more weeks, and right now they still look to be on the cold side. Just to recap for you once more, this storm system is pulling away from us. We have the back edge of the snowfall moving through the Triad as we speak. So we are expecting whatever's on the ground is probably what you're going to end up with at this point. And the most of us are seeing those snow showers just kind of go away. So take it easy, take it slow through tomorrow, hang home for a while, and you should be all right. Now, we are going to look at those roads staying messy for a couple of days, especially on the side streets. So our News 2 weather impact alert is there for a reason. Make sure you and your family are being careful about the area because the risk of wrecking or having problems on the roads does remain. We'll let you look at the 7-day forecast for a while as we go through the weekend and into early next week. Thanks for counting on us for your storm coverage here on WFMY News 2 Plus.